What up, everybody? John here. Today I want to talk about how I got fitted and my experience of getting fitted through the Graves Golf Academy with their online fitting tool. Let's get into it. So a while back ago, I've been actually meaning to make this video for a while, but then because of Thailand and for the unfortunate air quality out here right now, I got sick and I completely lost my voice, and I didn't want the video to sound like me gargling. So I waited a little bit before I made this video, but I'm glad I'm making it now, especially after I got done testing a couple of different of the golf brands, Cobra and Strixon. It really opened up my eyes to how having the right equipment is really going to help you out with your golf game and your journey through the game of golf. So, but those videos for the equipment that I did for testing all the drivers, fairway woods, hybrids, and irons for both Cobra and Strixon will come out within the next couple weeks. So hit that like, subscribe, and that bell notification button for when those videos come out. But back to the fitting. Let's get into the purpose of today's video. So I actually took the time and went on to Graves Golf Academy. And as we know, Graves Golf is the main teachers and the best teachers for those of us who use the single plane golf swing, Mo Norman's technique, right? I don't know if a lot of people know that they have an online fitting tool that you can use to get statically fit for your golf equipment for the single plane swing. And I actually went through that process, and I wanted to share my experience on how it went. So here's the email here, right? And obviously I'm not going to be looking at the camera the whole time. I got to read. So there is some advertisement that you get in the email, but I don't mind that. They are a business, but I do really encourage you to go through the process of doing this because the amount of information I received was incredible. But it says, John, please see below your custom club fitting measurements for your single plane swing. Below you will find our custom club fitting recommendations and suggestions based on your club, based on the measurements you submitted. Now, when I did this, I'm ADHD and I have insomnia from time to time. Now, when I did this, I happened to do it at 3 a.m. in the morning, and unfortunately, your boy submitted the wrong information. Well, partly the wrong information. We'll get in that here in a second. So let's zoom in here. Okay. First things it says is, what did I submit? So I use, because I'm out here in Thailand, I use centimeters. You can easily submit all of this information in inches or imperial, whatever you want to call it. Because of the devices that I had here to be able to measure things, I use centimeters. So my height, 173 centimeters with my golf shoes on, right? Now that's important. I'm also going to link in the description and also add a little card right here for you guys to see exactly how Graves Golf wants you to get measured. There's two main components that they talk about during the video, and that is when you submit your measurements, right, specifically for your height and your floor to wrist measurement, where you measure this part out right here, you give them both measurements with your golf shoes on or with your golf shoes off. The measurements need to be presented the same way for them to be able to give you accurate information. So, but let's continue, shall we? So of course I play right-handed. My glove size is small. Your wrist to floor measurement. Now this is that next one, and this one's really important to be able to get correct. And once again, if you give them your measurement with your golf shoes on, your height with your golf shoes on, you need to give them that measurement with your floor to wrist measurement with your golf shoes on as well. That's a really key factor there. Now they talk about in the video on the best ways to get this wrist to floor measurement. And I found that and obviously if you have somebody that can measure it out for you, that's great. But I found the best way to be a method that they didn't include into the video, sort of. Now they talk about, one of the ways that they talk about doing your wrist to floor measurement in the video is to hold a yardstick, which is a great idea. But the problem when you hold a yardstick, right, is the way you're going to have to hold it is you're going to have to hold it with a cocked wrist. Now this is going to change the angle of that first line in your wrist, which is the measurement that they're looking for, right? Now, I found the best way to be able to do this, besides having somebody there to just measure it for you, is to take a alignment stick like so. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold it, right? Or you're going to grasp it in between your middle finger and your ring finger here, right? You're just going to take it and kind of pinch it like so. And once you get it towards where the tip of the stick is on the floor with your wrist, right? Because now your wrist is straight, you just take your pen, mark it, and then you measure out the stick, right? That is, to me, is probably the most accurate way to do this, besides having somebody else measure it for you. For me, it would actually be even more accurate doing it that way, because then you're going to be 100% confident that the person reading the measuring tape isn't reading it incorrectly. So then I put in my floor to wrist to floor measurement. Now here's where I actually made my mistake at 3:10 a.m. in the morning when I filled this freaking form out. I put that my 6-iron average distance was 156 yard carry, and my 9-iron average distance was 110 yard carry. The problem with these two numbers is these are my carry distances based on my super smooth 50% easy swing, right? I gave him the wrong distances, and I got these distances from the Golf Boy app on my phone. So these were the wrong distances that I gave him. I gave him my super smooth 50% easy swing and not my full swing carry distances, which gave me the wrong recommendations. So, but nevertheless, let me show you the recommendations I got for these numbers. And then I'll show you, because I actually emailed them back and I said, hey, I'm an idiot. I gave you the wrong carry distance numbers. I apologize. Here's the actual distance, carry distance numbers, and here's the proof based on from Golf Boy of what my actual carry distance are with my club head speed and all that other good stuff. Can you send me some new numbers? And what Tim was really cool about is he actually did. He emailed me back a second time. I'll show you those numbers here in a second. But let's read through what he said in the first place with what his recommendations are and what the fitting process looked like with these current numbers, shall we? So then he asked your shaft material preferences. I just put recommended. Hey, whatever you recommend, I'm going to go with, right? That's kind of what I wanted to see. And then I told him about my current equipment as well. And that, of course, is the PGM YB5s. And I told him what was in my set, right? My ball flight, I think it has a drop-down menu. I selected just average. And of course, do you have any physical limitations? None. And then what is my divot pattern? I usually typically carry a very little bit of a divot, not a huge divot when I'm golfing. So, and then it goes on to say, based on this information, we recommend the following fitting for your ideal clubs for your single plane swing. Now that's the key thing here, is this static fitting is all based around the single plane golf swing. So it goes on to say your lie angle. Your 5-iron should have a lie angle of 60.5 degrees. There should be a ½ degree difference between the lie angle of your irons, i.e. your 6-iron would be a ½ degree more than the recommended 5-iron lie angle. So in other words, each club's lie angle is going to change, but this is where my 5-iron lie angle degree should start. Then it goes into shaft and flex material. Based on your swing speed, we recommend a regular flex shaft in your clubs. We would also recommend your shaft material be graphite, right? So now, once again, this is based on these swing speeds. We'll see in a second if and how these recommendations change based on when I give them my full swing speed data. So, and then typically we recommend graphite for these reasons, and he goes into the reasons. Once again, you could read them here real quick. But essentially, graphite's more forgiving. Graphite will help you hit the ball further. It's lighter than steel. You will swing graphite faster, right? So And then graphite will also help prevent injuries. Club length. Your 5-iron should be 38.25 with a graphite shaft, or 37.75 with a steel shaft. That's something I honestly did not know, is that for the difference between having a graphite or a steel shaft, that the club length would change like that, right? That was really shocking to me. So I always thought if whether you had a graphite shaft or whether you had a steel shaft, your shaft lengths would be the same. So that's something new that I learned personally. Most companies recommend a 1/2 inch between your clubs, meaning your 5-iron will be a 1/2 inch longer than your 6-iron, and your 6-iron will be a 1/2 inch longer than your 7-iron, etc. So now here's a cool thing: grip size, right? In recommending your grip size, we recommend it be fit as follows: GAA +4 grip. So the Graves Golf Academy grip. So he's recommending his grip. Hey, that's totally fine with me. I'm getting fitted through you. And there's also reasons why they recommend their grip, with 1 wrap underneath the full length of the grip. So in other words, what he's wanting to have done is you have 1 wrap that runs the whole length of the grip, and 4 additional pieces that run the bottom half of the grip, the bottom half of your club grip. This way it's more uniformal across the whole length of the grip. And then he goes into reasons why this is so important. Okay, set makeup. Okay, now this was really interesting for me as well, was the set makeup. It says, for your set makeup, we recommend you carry the following clubs: 5 through wedges. 5-iron is borderline, can hit, but with swing speed won't go any further than 6-iron unless hit perfect. I've always kind of struggled hitting my 5-iron in my current set. And what's funny is when I was testing the Cobra and the Strixons, I can hit their 5-irons very easily. Well, I can hit their better 5-irons really easily. You'll see that in a video once again when I'm testing, when the testing the irons videos come out. You'll see those different things. Get into that once again. We'll get into that later. So they recommend that some buffer clubs, hybrid type clubs, replacing longer irons instead of the 3, 4, 5 irons. Maybe have a 3 or 5 fairway wood. 5 fairway wood is the same as a 3 hybrid, right? Giving those recommendations. And lastly, your driver. Ideal driver loft should be 10.5 degrees or higher, and the length of your driver should be 45 to 46 inches, right in between those ranges. So, and then they go into some additional recommendations of My Perfect Fit, and basically package sets that they have available and how they work with their different brands. Once again, I recommend you go get fitted if you use the single plane swing through the Graves Golf Academy app, and see how it will work out for you in their process. I really enjoyed this, but real quickly, let's see what my numbers look like actually with my actual full swing numbers and how things change through there. Once again, I was an absolute idiot and filled this out at 3:10 or 3:05 or 3:10 in the morning, when I probably shouldn't have been, and gave Tim the wrong numbers. So I once again, I sent them all the right information, and he was kind enough to actually send me back an additional email with all the correct information for my fitting for my actual swing speeds in swing distances. And real quickly, let's just take that look at how that looks real quick and how things change. Because really the only things that changed was the shaft material, was the shaft stiffness, and his club recommendations. So my average carry distance for my 6-iron at this time was 172 yards, and my average 9-iron carry distance was 135 yards. And so based on that new information, he then sent me this: based on your swing speed, we recommend stiff flex shafts. So I went from regular flex to stiff flex, which was really good to see. And then of course, he still recommends graphite for being my shaft material. And to be 100% honest with you, I have a stiff flex 7-iron alongside of, which is the PGM Rio 3 in a stiff flex shaft. And my regular 7-iron and I hit those two clubs drastically different. I actually very much enjoy swinging the Rio over with the graphite and with the stiff flex shaft over swinging the steel shaft, regular steel shaft in my YB5s. So the club length stayed the same, the grip size stayed the same, the set makeup did change. Basically, it says for your set makeup, we recommend the following clubs: 4 through wedges. So now I went from barely being able to hit the 5-iron to 4 through the wedges, right? 3-iron being borderline, can hit, but with swing speeds, it won't go further than a 4-iron. To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't go past the 4-iron. Anyhow, instead of having a 2 and a 3-iron in the bag, he recommends those buffer clubs, the 3 and the 5 fairway woods, and or a 3 hybrid. But once again, I tested out the Cobra and the Srixon so far as testing the equipment out. I tested their fairway woods and their hybrids, and I got some amazing results. I can't wait to share with you guys on that. Those videos will be coming out once again in the next couple weeks. So this was my club fitting experience through the Graves Golf Academy. I'd like to thank Tim for taking the time to send me not 1, but 2 emails that I felt were completely customized to me. Obviously, he didn't retype out every single piece of information, but he at least took the time to put in the correct information for me, thus making me feel like it was customized to me. Also, on top of that, he continued to follow up, and it wasn't some generic auto-generated follow-up email. He actually emailed me a couple of different times with a personal message that was in there alongside that, making sure that if I had any additional questions, so please feel free to reach out to him. And this whole entire process was free. So Tim, thank you very much. So guys, once again, if you use the single plane golf swing and you haven't done this process yet through Graves Golf of getting at least your static fitting done through them, I absolutely 100% recommend you do it. So thanks for watching the video. And once again, if you've made it this far, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you know anybody else that uses the single plane golf swing, go ahead and send this video to them. I'll see you guys on the next one.